This is Doug Payne here, and with the help of Tali, or Crown Talisman as he's known, we're going to take you along on the Jersey Fresh CIC 3-star course. So we're just heading out of the box here, and I've got to first off thank Larry and Amelia Ross, who are partners with Tali, and without their help and support over the years, would not at all have this incredible opportunity on such a talented horse. So heading out onto course, we're thinking about well, certainly you want to do well at this particular track, but I wasn't going outright for time. I was sort of thinking more or less 80%. I was just going to be smart and try and make use of this track, in that I was lucky enough to receive a grant from the USEF that was funded by Land Rover and, of course, countless private donors to allow us to head over to France. And in 2 weeks' time, Tali will be competing at Saumur, which is a 3-star, CCI 3-star. So we're heading here, again, looking to gain the most as far as experience and confidence, and then also keeping mindful of this fitness. Just getting going here, first 4 or 5 fences, nothing too terribly technical. We've got a ditch and brush here, which is a sizable ditch underneath, but Tali doesn't really seem to mind those too much. Going to make use of it. It's really difficult to tell on this or from this camera, but this is quite a steep hill. And as we're heading up here, just after this next jump, the slope increases dramatically all the way up into the woods there. And I was very, very happy in walking this course the first time that this hill was so early. I was going to use it actually to sort of move on, probably even a little bit faster than I would on a normal situation. Again, purely just for the benefit of his overall fitness. This is the first main complex that I was concerned about. It's quite a steep downslope. It's really hard to tell just based on the video here. We've got a log here. We got a forward 6 strides to the first element there, and I chose to go pretty direct in 3. Some people also did a little bit of a bending line in 4. In general, I think that if you can line it up early and they can get their eye on it, just makes it a whole lot easier. I think they can see and they understand completely what's expected, and I just have had a lot better luck with that. We've got a little galloping fence here, and again, looking forward, the next jump or next complex here is a coffin. He's generally quite good with it. It's sort of wine barrow 1 stride to a ditch, and then 2 strides to a single wine barrow, a skinny one. So we're off to the right here to try and get the line early and get a good round jump at the first. Again, he's not really fazed by ditches, and as you can see, it's he just jumps through that really, really well. With the skinny jumps that we're coming on early in the course, I'm just going to be thinking about how that may impact later on in the course. If he were to have drifted to the right or the left there, then I would know the combinations coming up, how I might have to alter my riding or try and prevent a drift one way or the other. But he was dead straight on it, and couldn't complain one bit. Our course actually just had this table here, and it's only seemed natural to hop over the corner there as well. Again, just looking forward to next week or 2 weeks' time. Jumped that really, really well. Had really no issues whatsoever. Got a house here. It's got a pretty significant drop on it, so I was looking to actually get quite up almost underneath it, quite deep to it, to get a very round shape over the fence. Sort of mindful of his stifles. Sometimes if you get long to those, they'll end up rubbing them. This was tricky. It's a 3-stride angled line, first house, and then you can see there's not a whole lot of jumpable space there. And again, mindful, he did go out in the lead coming onto course here. I wanted to save as much distance as possible to make his job easier. So we're actually quite a bit off to the right of the intended track, which you can see is that mode section off to the left. So we're going to do a little dog leg into this oxer here, and heading into the main and what was probably the most influential complex of jumps. The first one we're doing it here is a corner that's spaced in the water. It's a whole lot to look at, so I think the horses ultimately get distracted obviously quite easily. So I sort of squared this turn off, stayed a little slow, and you can see about 4 strides out or so he sees it, you see his ears prick up, and I think once they saw it, then really they had hardly any trouble. But unfortunately, a lot of horses, I think, were late to read it, and then ultimately just didn't have quite enough time to make any adjustments that were necessary. Got another table here. Again, mindful of the distance, I'm going to actually hang a hard left right after this, and we can shave off a little bit of distance here, which saves us some time. Heading up the hill, we have just a little bit of a filler fence, just a table here. Right through the culvert in the woods here is another pretty influential complex. I'm not sure how much trouble there was during that day, but I think it really required a pretty precise ride here. It's quite a steep hill up. Wanted to make sure that it had a whole lot of energy, so we got to the base of it and then pop up over 3 strides to quite a skinny little chevron. But being that he's been so dead on straight, I gotta be honest, I didn't have to do a whole lot there. Just make sure you get into the first jump with an appropriate balance and energy. Coming here, just have a little bit of a galloping fence, and then back into the water complex. there's 2 options. There's a direct route which is off to your right, and I actually chose to go straight. There's a 5-stride line versus a 3-stride, and I, again, like I said, chose the longer one. Just thinking about his confidence, I wanted to make sure that he had enough time to read it. There were some horses earlier in the day that were having some trouble with it, so better off to be a little bit conservative and have him come off the course confident. We got a first good jump there. We got 5 strides down to this. Quite a big leap into the water. It's a big splash. Heading around, and we've got a bounce out, which is it's certainly a decent effort. He really has no trouble whatsoever with it. So now that we're heading towards home, like I said, we used the beginning for a little bit of fitness up that big hill, let him kind of coast along in the middle, and then now that we're heading home, now we can actually, I knew I had some gas in the tank, so I started to actually pick up the pace. We've got just one more complex before we're finished up, which was a bank. You went up a little slope and did a log on top, and then what walked in quite a long 5 strides actually ends up being quite steady. But again, later in the course, that's only natural. Their stride length tends to open up. So you get a good jump at the first, and down in 5 here to the little mushroom, and then on to the last jump. So, he was absolutely excellent. I really couldn't have asked for a whole lot better. And he did end up actually finishing up in the lead by, I think, just over 8 points. So pretty exciting, and hope you enjoyed it.